Good morning. Happy Friday. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Today I'll work a couple of hours here in the office and then I get to go home and see my honey. Yay! Woohoo! So it is already, I've already disclaimed it's an amazingly blessed and fabulous day. So I hope that you're making that same claim for you and just ready for a super amazing day. So something I wanted to share this morning. I tell you, God has really just convicted my heart this week. Hitting the snooze button. How many of you do that in the morning? So that is something that I work with my clients on not doing. And so it's something, even before, like I never did hit the snooze button. I just didn't get up early. But I've learned the benefits of having some morning practices that really set me up to have a super more successful day by having some morning practices in place. So snooze is not something I've ever done, but I just didn't I didn't get up early. I would get up at the last minute, then just my whole day would be like running late, and it just wouldn't set me up for a good morning. And so now that I've learned those things that really set me up in the morning, those practices, I get up early. But I understand that setting snooze, hi, good morning, Miss Brenda. Snooze is something that some of my clients struggle with. So, because I understand those challenges, we work through that. Well, lo and behold, here lately, I've been struggling with hitting the snooze button. And it impacts my morning. And I've been really convicted about it because it's like, I know the benefits of the morning. I love the morning. That's my favorite time of the day. The things that I do in the morning, my gratitude practice, praying, spending time with God, exercise, all those things that I do in the morning, I love that. And it really puts me in a good place for the day. So I've just been really convicted and, kind of sitting in a little bit of shame because this is what I do, right? As a personal development coach, I help people with these things. And it's like, why am I doing this? What's wrong with me? So I've really been struggling with this. So this morning, as I was struggling with the snooze button, I was really starting to talk with God. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? What's happening? And I was really led to kind of reflect back on when this kind of started, what am I going through, and that why, right? Why am I doing this? And here's what's so interesting. So as all of these extra responsibilities have been added to me, and we talked about, I shared, hey, Miss Lisa, hi, gorgeous. As I shared kind of earlier in the week, I have a lot of stress right now. It's all good stress, but it's a super lot of stress. But as I've started experiencing all these extra duties at work, and we're gonna have a baby and we're gonna be grandparents. So as I'm planning a baby shower, and as we're getting ready for Autumn to graduate dental school and plan a party for that, just all these extra stresses, that is when I've started struggling with wanting to press the snooze button. And here's what, when I was led to this reflection this morning, it's because there's that voice inside saying, this is too much. You can't do this. This is overwhelming. It's going to be too hard. Your day's going to be too hard. All those negative little things, right? So then there's this kind of desire to just stay in the bed as long as possible to avoid getting started on all those things that are feeling like they're going to be just too hard. And here's what I was kind of led to this morning that was so beautiful, is that when I reflected back, I've not had a date yet that was too hard. Now, I've had some days they were pretty doggone hard. But there's not been a date yet that's been too hard. And I've had, every single day has had some amazing growth opportunities, some amazing blessings in it. And so I've not had a date yet that's been too hard. But here's the important piece. the enemy, that piece that's telling us these things are too hard, we can't do it, we're not good enough, wants us to fail, wants that validation, wants us to be able to sit in that. So we won't step into that word that God has for us. So if I push snooze and I don't get up, and if I leave out any piece, if I don't do my gratitude practice, if I don't pray, if I don't exercise, if I skip breakfast, any of those morning practices that for me set me up to have a really good day, that allow me to lean into the things that help me feel good through the day, that help me handle the hard, then those things start to manifest. The day is too hard. I start to fail. I feel like a failure. And then he can say, see, I told you. And then I lean into that negative and that word that's not for me day after day. And then that negative cycle becomes true. And then you can say, see, I told you. And so the word that was really on my heart this morning is like, that's not for you. That's not for me. And so going back to, like, originally I added the don't press snooze for, my health and fitness as a health and fitness coach. I moved it into my practice as a personal development coach because I just feel that it's really healthy for us to have a set time we get up, keep our bodies, the clock that's inside of us, it really likes to have a schedule. And then I believe that there's practices that we can set in place that really set us up to lean into the things that help us feel good, help us be of service to others, help us lean into our support system, lean in spiritually, lean in, just like to y'all, lean into y'all. However, when we start skipping those things, then it sets us up not for the opposite. So my question this morning is, are there things that you have that you are hitting snooze on? And I want you to really think about that on a bigger platform. Is God calling you to certain things, but there's that little voice that's saying that's going to be too hard, you can't do it, you failed in the past. And I just want to share with you that there's nothing that's too hard if we do the process, if we stop hitting snooze. So I lie to you, I hit snooze a couple times this morning. That's why I really had this conversation with God. But then I went ahead and got up, and even though I'm a little behind, I did all those things that set me up to have a good day because his word is for me, not that little negative word in my ear. And I want to share that with you today too. Whatever you're hitting snooze on, commit today, and let's join together. And there's gonna still be those days we're gonna want to hit snooze, but reflect back. Has there been a day, has there been a time, has there been a season that even though it was so tough, it was too tough? And I know for me, even through the tough times, there hasn't been a time yet that's been too tough. He's always been there. He's always put people, opportunities to help support me through. So I just want to thank y'all for being a part of my journey. You just lift me up. My soul is so filled. And I know today's going to be fabulous. Even though I did hit snooze a few times, but I'm going to stop. I am going to lean in to what he has for me. And thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. I love you guys. Have a fabulous Friday, and it'll be later in the day, but please pray for me as I head back to Snyder. And I'm so excited to go see my honey. Love you guys.